Dub, it was pretty unusual looking stat sheet, and game kind of bore that out too, just with the turnover numbers being flipped. It's the first time an opponent shot better than 50% against you guys all season. What did you kind of feel just in terms of the game flow and why it was a little different tonight?
Defensively, just let them get too comfortable early. But it is good we get to play them as much as we do because they're a really good team. But yeah, just not physical enough. And I don't want to say not locked in because then it makes it seem like we're not ready to play. I just think we could have been better communication-wise, what we were doing defensively early. And that gives them a lot of offensive rhythm going into it. They also had some guys step up and play really well. I thought Keldon Johnson did a good job. Dylan Harper gave them good minutes too. So they had guys ready to kind of step in and do their role. Castle's another one that played really well. So like they're like, not in a disrespectful way, but like they're role players and like guys around them that did a really good job. So we kind of got to hone in on that a little better. I think we got to rebound a little better. And kind of just turn up a little bit defensively. But yeah, I think when we get stops and we can get out and run, turnovers, we're a much better team offensively. And just didn't do it tonight. The blessing of basketball is we get to play them in a day.
Yeah, you mentioned some of those role guys. I wanted to ask you just about how you digest and then turn around a guy like Castle, great talented player, but for the season shooting under 30% from three, and he makes 4 of them, most of them from above the break. How do you sort of digest that, knowing that you're going to turn around and face those guys a couple days later in terms of, all right, how far out are we really going into the water on this guy?
Well, he's a good player, and those are the shots that he had to make, and he made them. So you kind of just got to tip your hat. We'll adjust accordingly. But it's the NBA. Like, we're not going to sit here and hang our head and go, oh, you made these shots, that's why we lost. Like, I feel like defensively, we let him get to a point where he's comfortable enough to make those shots, and where guys around him are making shots, and the ball finds energy. So the more that an opponent or whoever you're playing has that, the more confident, the more shots go in. They have a lot more flow. And then a lot of them, too, is like we don't rebound, and then they spray it out, and they get a wide open three. So it's like just like a lot of controllable stuff that we didn't do well tonight, and ultimately that's why we lost.
Not to make excuses for you guys, but 3 of your losses this season have come on the second night of a back-to-back. The obvious thing, fatigue playing a factor, but what are some maybe other things that go into this that maybe people don't think about in terms of what makes this so difficult?
I don't know what people think about. We just got to be better on the back-to-backs. It's really not that big of a point for us. I feel like everybody in the league has to play a back-to-back. So for me to sit up here and complain about travel or something is ridiculous. I think for us, it's just going to be about getting the guys that have been out at inconsistent times just to gel more defensively, offensively. Me, Chet, Zay, Lou, and Shea, we just haven't played minutes together. You know what I mean? And it's kind of showing a little bit. It gets a little sticky. But we get 1,000 more games to figure it out and do that. And hopefully we can all continue to kind of gel and get that back. But it has nothing to do with the back-to-backs. The only one I would say is it has something to do is when we had 6 people out against Portland. And even then, a winnable game that we should have won, then we were up 20 at one point. So we're not a team that's built on excuses and not playing well on a back-to-back or anything. We just have to play better.
You got to be fired up to play these guys again, but also play them at home and on Christmas when everyone's watching.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, it's on Christmas. I would say outside of the playoff games, this is probably going to be the coolest game we'll play this year. Not everybody gets to play on Christmas, and just from a sports fan, playing on Christmas is a big deal. So should be a really cool game.
Anybody else?